Welcome back to another walk through the hallowed halls of the StarFleet Leadership Academy. It's where we're looking at some lessons that we learned from none other than Captain or Admiral, or then Captain again, James Tiberius Kirk, portrayed by William Shatner in the Star Trek plethora of films and TV shows and all the other things owned by Paramount Pictures and created originally by Gene Roddenberry and still owned today, I think, by the Roddenberry family with some affiliation to the series. We're looking at lessons that we learned from Captain Kirk and that character that's there that apply to us in whatever leadership environment you might be in. And so let me give you a quote. This comes from the character of Kirk. And it says, "You know, the greatest danger facing us is ourselves, our irrational fear of the unknown. But there's no such thing as the unknown, only things temporarily hidden, temporarily not understood." Now, that's part of a bigger scenario, but I think the lesson that we learn, or one of the lessons that we learn from the character of Kirk, and one of the places this shows up is in the original series, is that you never stop learning. I've often advocated for leaders that leaders must be lifelong learners. That makes sense. It was manifest in the Star Trek series by a description of Captain Kirk by one of his classmates and former First Officer Gary Mitchell. He described Cadet Kirk, when he was at StarFleet, as a walking stack of books. In other words, he always had a stack of books. He always was researching. He was always learning. Fast forward into the series, if you're a fan of the series, you'll recognize or remember the battle that Captain Kirk had with Captain Gorn in an episode called Arena, where he had to fight in a hand-to-hand combat this other captain to the death in this arena that was set up by some aliens that were watching, and of course the Enterprise crew got to watch it on the screen like we did at home on TV, where Kirk had to fight this guy who looked kind of a lizard-like, dragon-like dude, and it was just life or death, and it was just a brutal battle that took place in Arena. If you remember the series, what happened in that was pretty interesting, because Captain Kirk, in his battle, began making what in essence was gunpowder. So he could use the gunpowder to basically win the battle against the Gorn. He was able to find the raw materials he needed to make gunpowder. We knew this because Mr. Spock was explaining it to us as he was watching it on the screen. And he made a very rudimentary shotgun that ultimately ends up being what wins him the battle. Well, the question that I had, even as a kid watching it, was, well, why does a Starfleet captain know how to make gunpowder? Because Starfleet captains, they fight with photon torpedoes and phasers, and gunpowder, at least in the Star Trek world, is long a thing of the past, but not for James T. Kirk. Because being a student of history and being a student of battle and being a tactician of what it took to win fights, had somehow learned in his lexicon of information how to make gunpowder, the mechanics of making a gun, so he could use it and put it on display to win a battle on an alien world. Now, I understand that's all science fiction, and you say, Jeff, you're really stretching there, but ask yourself at the end of the day, why would the Starfleet captain of the 23rd century know anything about gunpowder? Because it's a part of his character. It fit into the character. And because he was a man who had determined he would learn and understand and always kept growing. There's always more to learn. Throughout the course of the Star Trek universe, Kirk always was learning something new and always trying something new and not afraid to try something new. That set him apart as a leader. I think it sets us apart as a leader as well. When we make a commitment to become a lifelong learner and recognize that we never stop learning. The day we stop learning is the day we die. And there's always something new, always something more to discover. And when we face life that way, that means that on any given day, each day as we get up and move into it, there's something new that we will find if we look. There's some new way to do something that we've done before, many times. There might be something that will add to or something we need to take away from things that we've done in the past. But at the end of the day, we can never stop learning. And if we will do that, we will discover not only are we better leaders, but the people that we are entrusted to lead will have a better model to follow. And that makes all the difference. And so that's it for this edition. I look forward to joining you again. Until then, live long and prosper, as they would say in Star Trek.